Oh, who brought the scones? This is COFOH Live Undead. I am your host, Daniel Crosier, and I am joined by the amazing director and cast of Bullets from Beyond. Wow!
Your X-ray on my face.
Holy cow! Look at you! So many of you, and so good looking. Oh, I want to thank Mike Olafson, Mark Grove, Dennis Vincent, Sylvia Taziri, and Joshua Fuentes for joining us today. How are you guys?
Yay!
We're
great, Daniel. Thank you.
Awesome.
As you can see, I've had a little bit of coffee, as one should. You guys have been working on this project, Bullets from Beyond. I talked to Mike last year about it, and I wanted to kind of check in and see how everything's going. And Mike, you've grown your film family, and project. It's absolutely amazing. But I want to go ahead, since I haven't talked to Joshua and Sylvia, prior to this episode, I want to talk to them and see, what makes them tick. Joshua, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you come from and how you got into film acting.
All right. So originally, I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, and I guess you could say I'm more of like a skater / thrill seeker turned stunt performer.
Nice.
So after I moved out here to Denver, I really
Jesus, that's all that food they gave me.
I was really just kind of looking for something new and reached out to Mark about stunt performing, and it's just been kind of chemistry ever since, just working with him and Mike.
Nice.
And the amount of food you get, yeah, Chipotle is better.
What's that?
I mean, they gave me like 5 pieces of chicken.
Who is that you, Sylvia? Is there a disconnect here? Oh no! Are we already having technical issues? Oh, okay.
We could be hooked up to a radio somewhere.
No, we lost
So how's
Sylvia's
your
audio.
feelings today, guys?
Oh, geez.
We lost Sylvia's audio.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
she might join us back.
She might join us back in here pretty soon. Okay. So with that, Mike, can you give us a little update while we're waiting for Sylvia?
Sure.
Come back in. Where's
I
Bullets
can.
at now?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay, Daniel?
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm remote myself here. I'm at Genghis Khan, actually, because what's going on today, there's a lot of crossover between our Western, having all the supernatural fantasy elements that it does, and the type of content that you see at gaming conventions. So I thought I'd peek in here and kind of just get a check the pulse on what's going on. We're finding some neat stuff here. But yeah, getting back to the film, it's been about a year, I think, since we were on your show last time. And, COVID slowed us down as it did a lot of productions around the world. But we're still pushing forward. We kind of got a renewed, there she is. She's back.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got
And I can hear you.
kind of a,
Excellent.
yay. So I'll get back to her, but I'll tell you the update on the film is just, we got some new cast members. Obviously we got some good momentum with new scenes, new sets.
Cool.
We're still trying to get the first episode completed. And once that's done, we can then begin preparing to shoot the feature version of this. So it's kind of becoming more of a thing these days. It seems like people will film these kind of tackle these projects in segments, and proceed that way. So that's what we've been doing. But this last film shot we had last week, we all froze our patooies off, but we got the shot done, and we'll be continuing to finish that scene and a couple more in the next month or so. But I'll let you go back to Sylvia here, since we got her now.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
No worries. Technical issues will ensue. Sylvia, tell us a little bit about yourself. How you got into, where you came from, and how you got into acting.
Well, I was actually born in Mexico, so I'm from Delicias, Chihuahua, Mexico, and I got into acting about 7 to 8 years ago. It was kind of like by accident. I used to model, and then they kind of asked me that they needed a Hispanic, a model for a commercial, but I needed to act, and I was like, oh, that's kind of different, and they're like, no, it's not so different, you can do it. And I'm like, okay. So they convinced me, and since then I fell in love with it, and I've been trying different projects and things like that. So then Mike found me for this project, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think, what was it? I think last year I caught you in Monster Force Zero. Is that right? Is that the name of the film?
Yes, Monster Force Zero actually came out last year on a DVD, but we actually filmed it, I think, about 2 years prior to that. So it's been like 3 years. Yes.
Nice. That's so cool. Now, Mike, you've worked with these veterans before, Dennis and Mark. What was it like to have to approach these guys and say, hey, I need a hand with this project? Or, I know, Mark, does so much of the stunt work, and Mark, you also do a lot of work with Dennis on his film projects. Was this a pretty big collaborative project?
It's funny.
Well,
we kind of like created our own little league of extraordinary directors.
Yeah.
So we all know each other and just decided, hey, whenever we can help each other, we should.
Nice. Mike, what's it like to be able to direct this amazing ensemble?
Well, I mean, like Mark said, we've been working together here for a long time, but more recently in more closer capacities with each other's projects. I still have to work on Dennis's, but I know we'll get that happening, and he's going to use my home for some scenes coming up, and I know that'll happen soon. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a great team, and we all kind of, we're all kind of genre guys. I mean, we do westerns, we do sci-fi, we do horror, and we all love all those genres, and it's kind of neat that we each are choosing one of those to work in. So it makes it fun for all of us. I think we can all kind of add our own little taste of what we prefer in the films we help work on. So, but I have no hesitations talking to these guys saying, "Oh man, we need a stunt scene here, or we need some lighting done here, or we need some makeup or special effects." And it's so nice to have that resource. It's
right.
You can find that in other places, of course, but we have it here. And like Mark said, we really owe it to ourselves to take advantage of this and do as much as we can, film production wise, as possible right now, while we're still living, breathing, and still got the energy and the ideas. So it's a great thing that we can do. I hope we can. I know we all have our own things going on. Mark's got his new film coming out, working on now. Dennis has his. So who knows? We all may be timing these at the same time when these films get done and released all at once. But it's a good thing. And then triple feature, that'd be great. Maybe who knows? That could happen. But, and then having Mark with his stunt team and the connections that he has even brings so much more to the table with all the talented people he's working with, like Josh. And meeting Josh has been great. It's funny, when Josh was at my house, he was asking me, like, pointing at a reel-to-reel tape recorder saying, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, let me tell you. Let me enlighten you, young one." But he reminds me of myself. Like, he's got this energy and enthusiasm, and he's just, you know, he's got the bravado to, like you said, he's a skater guy, and he doesn't shirk away from anything, you know. So he's just got this cool style and great attitude, and a cool guy, and I got a good look too for the film. So I mean, it works out great.
What's so funny is they met on another Western project, a TV series, and they were both playing Western characters. And you're looking at Josh, you're like, yeah, your first two movies are going to be Westerns. Yeah, I saw that coming.
right.
Look at that.
Love it.
See?
There he is.
Nice.
He looks good, and he's got an accent he'll be working with. He's got an accent all prepared for his character. So.
Oh yeah, that's right, Estevez.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been great meeting him, and then Sylvia, of course. I first saw her on Facebook, and you may know she has a podcast or radio show of her own, very successful, and she has a huge market and audience that she serves, and very popular with that, and specializes in music. And you know, it's great to see her in that show, the enthusiasm and energy that she has, but also for this project. And I think she really seems to enjoy the role. So it's been great. When I first approached her, I was very nervous. I thought, I don't know if she's going to go for this. She may, I don't know, who's this guy, indie filmmaker here in Denver, but she received it well and said, yeah, this sounds great. And she just has, when I saw her at first, I thought, oh my gosh, she is Domino. She is this character. And she has, besides, obviously she has the looks for the part, but she has the talent and the energy and the enthusiasm, and that's all the good things that we like to see. So it's been great working with her so far.
Yeah, there's this supernatural element that's brought into the film. Is Sylvia's your character Domino? Is she like a fortune teller, or what's going on here?
Yeah, she's a fortune teller, and she can see the future, of course, and has that type of power, and it knows how to deal with the demons and spirits and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to show my power to these people so that way they don't overcross me either. These are bad guys over here.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that Mark Grove too in the scene.
Especially him, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a pretty cool character. When Mike, messaged me, actually I was vacationing in Florida when I got his message, and I was like, who is this guy? Like he said, like, who is this guy? But so I started like reading, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. I'm like, well, just give me a chance to get back to Colorado, and then I'll look over the script and let you know. And yeah, I really liked it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in. So he's like, oh, okay, cool. So, and we started from there. It's been months since then, but it's just like, for some reason, time is flying.
Nice. That's awesome. Dennis, you're just coming off of working on your werewolf movie.
Yeah, still working on it. I'll be finishing this summer.
Right.
So yeah, but I mean, what's nice and working with Mike is that in this one I only have to do lighting. Really, that's all he's really asking. So it's been a lot easier for me. Usually I'm doing everything. I'm doing the lighting, sound, directing, everything. Props. So it's been an easy thing. It's nice working with Mike. He's kind of quiet, and very talented. And you just watch him move around, and he knows what he's doing. He spent a lot of time on this film. He does miniatures. He's spent a lot of crafting it, doing the best he can with it. So it's been fun, in that way. I like working, with Mark as well, because he brings a lot of experience to all the projects, because he has a lot more experience, I think, on all of this. He's been doing this since, I think, the 80s, right? Have you been doing this?
Yeah, 89. I should just 80s because it makes it sound longer.
Right. And I thought it was like 1940s, Mark. I mean, you're ancient, aren't you?
1940s. Yeah.
So, I mean,
we're only a month apart, I know.
I didn't start in
2005.
So he has a lot more experience than all of us, and I turn to him a lot of times when I don't understand or know what to do on things. And he came up with me to do the werewolf movie because we shot it in New York and Pennsylvania. So
that was
there. And it was nice. I had never shot anything consecutively, that many days in a row. Here we shoot here, so we shoot on the weekends mostly. That's when people are available. But I had never shot anything 20 days in a row or anything like so. That's something I know Mark's had the experience on, so that was nice to have him on that. So we all kind of bring our own talents to this. When we get together, we specialize in something, and it really helps bring the production value really a lot better than just us.
Yeah.
So, it's a great team, and I really, really enjoy working with all of them.
Yeah, we're always laughing, so it's like,
that's
the best part,
It is.
You have to keep it fun, otherwise, is it even worth doing?
Right.
Yeah.
We're not getting rich off this, so we're having a good time doing it.
Right. Got to have fun.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. Mark, I love this still that Mike sent over. Oh my God. That is the coolest. That to me that says like those old VHS cases casing.
Yeah, I kicked those doors open and opened fire. I actually have a great shot of it, with the bullet flashes and all that stuff. But what's so funny is on the second take I kicked the doors when they just fell off the hinges, and strangely enough, it actually worked really well. They fell right on top of me, and I just kept going, and it was kind of fun.
That's so cool.
We got two good takes on. I mean, we had 2 takes on that, and both of them. I think in the first one, a board fell down on your character at the end, but then in the second one, the whole door, he kicked it off and it fell on him, and he just kept on going.
It all works.
It's cool.
Nice. Yeah. Well, Mark, you're an old stuntman. Yeah, you just roll with the punches, right?
I'm just a stuntman. I'm not an old stuntman. God.
Well, you guys were talking about the 40s, and you've got the Silver
That's
Fox.
what I'm in. I'm in my 40s. Shut up.
I'm
in your 40s, not from the 40s. Okay. Yeah, some of it looks like you guys are just having a blast. I love this, this backdrop that you made. Mike, did you make this?
I did. Yeah, this is in my backyard actually.
Nice.
It's originally just was going to be a facade, and then I realized, well, we could actually use it for the interior scenes. I was going to have a set built inside, and I don't know. I thought it might be cool just to have it big enough, and it represents the front of a mission which is kind of dilapidated. We do have a matte shot in the movie where we show the back of this, or at least the side of it, which I hope is evident, but it is supposed to be kind of an old mission that has been run down and is abandoned, which is where most of the movie happens, this episode anyway. But yeah, it's in my backyard, surrounded by trees. Nobody can see it. My neighbors don't know it's there, fortunately. Otherwise, they think I'd have a cult in my backyard or something. But it's funny what you can do with things. That bell that you see at the top, that's a planter.
Yeah.
A flower planter that we just painted with metallic paint and turned it upside down. And the wood that we got was actually from a ranch in Wyoming, so it's older wood, but that kind of helps add to it. But yeah, otherwise, we just paint it over, kind of plaster it. We have a scene where we have bullets hitting it, and both Josh and Mark were involved in that, where we had to simulate bullet hits, and Josh was doing that, and Mark was acting in it. So, but it's kind of neat because you build a set, and then you have it always when you need it. It's right there in your backyard. You have full control, so we can plug in our lights, keep them electric, but you don't have to be remote and carry a lot of stuff, but it just works out good.
Next time, let's build it in Sylvia's backyard.
Yeah.
The neighbors will kill us, but I'm in for it. If I can shoot, I'm in.
with like gunshots going off, are you guys using squibs? I'd imagine that would get a little bit of attention from the neighbors.
Yeah, that would look the best, and we did have the ability to do pyro, but it was like that's the same thing. It's like you don't want everybody in the neighborhood thinking you're going crazy, so we ended up doing dust hits, which are kind of like paintballs filled with dust.
Okay.
And so we can fill them with different types of things. The interesting part is they normally need a hard surface in order to explode really well. Right. And the surface of that was plastered, so sometimes they sort of indented before they exploded. So it dulled them a little bit, but it was still kind of funny because then it actually kind of left little bullet holes. It was kind of interesting.
Oh, cool! Wow, that's pretty inventive. Then is that something that you guys figured out on set, or just?
Oh no, that's a professional device that's been used for years. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I think there's a shot here. Is that somebody's garage?
That's my garage, and that's the set as it's being built. Now we have the other set is a gypsy wagon, the interior of a gypsy wagon, which is the little model that you showed. We're building that to use in a kind of an old style forced perspective kind of shot, which, as you know, I tend to use the kind of vintage techniques. We've got an actual mat and models and stuff, but I build the practical sets. Now, one person on this panel uses a lot of cool CG and has awesome success with it in his new film.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen the new stuff yet. I'll have to show you guys.
Yeah, so he can create a lot of stuff. So it's funny, we work together on each other's projects, but I guess I'm trying to do the older style just because I think it's kind of fun. And in this particular scene, I think it would work fairly well and kind of.
I don't know if you mentioned that he's shooting this on film. This is raw film he's shooting, not digital.
Right. 35 millimeter, or is it 16?
It's just 16 millimeter. So it has a kind of an older style look. I know that can be generated and duplicated to some degree, pretty close. And again, I know some people, and I think digital is great. I've got projects I'll do in digital, but I don't know, for this one, I just thought if I'm going with a vintage style Western, I thought maybe I'd, have at least a medium it's on shot vintage. We still edit digitally. It's all transferred to the computer, but it still has a kind of a cool look. And I don't know, for me, I can geek out by using an old camera. Although when it doesn't load right and I got to reload it, when there's a delay, that's a problem. It is heavy. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's made of lead.
At least.
Yeah.
Apparently Mike's the only one who can see it.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody says I'm the only one that can see through the viewfinder. I think Mark can, but I
see it like an old viewfinder when you get it trapped between half of a picture and half of another picture. That's what I get.
It's crazy, today, you have a nice screen, a monitor you're looking at, or at least the display of a digital camera. But with this, all you got is a little pinhole, and I'm even shooting it in a 4:3 aspect ratio, so I have to estimate where my crop is going to be for 16:9. So it does make it challenging.
I shot my first film on 35. My first $1 million film. Because we could afford to shoot 35, but we had a video assist, so it sat on the side, so you had it attached to where it kind of showed you the same thing the camera was seeing, and so you can do that type of thing, but it's just a little. I mean, it requires more people.
Right.
A lot more extra effort.
That's so cool. Mike, let's go ahead and show the original trailer. I know you guys are working on the updated trailer.
Yeah.
But I still have such an affinity for this. It's got that classic feel to it as well.
Well, it gives a little taste of it. As I told you, the character, we did some revisions to the script. He's not really a bounty hunter per se. Now he's more of an occult detective in the Wild West who gets called in to solve this mystery of a theft of an ancient skull by these supposed demon ghost riders. And so that's kind of why he gets involved. But this trailer just kind of gives some of the elements, but we've got a lot more footage now. I just haven't been able to cut it together, and we'll have more soon. But yeah, I thought at least show something for today. But again, this is a bit dated, but it's
My name is Tony Monaco. I am a bounty hunter. While I have many times collected a price on a mortal man's head, I have also pursued certain conjurers from the spirit realm. A voodoo priest in New Orleans, a Chinese sorcerer in San Francisco. But I have never experienced anything the likes of that which now knocks upon my door.
Oh yeah, Mike, that's amazing. I still love that.
Well, thanks, Daniel.
It really has that feel of like 1960s Hammer films, but you know what?
Yeah.
I actually watched movies like that in the 70s. I remember those openings at the theater, like that. You know, the colored. I mean, I remember it.
Yeah.
See, now I called myself old. That's bomb.
Right.
Hey, me too.
I had to add that. We had to add that in there, give that grindhouse feel, you know. But you saw some of the animation at the end there, and that's that was the first. I guess it was a test type of run, which I think worked good, but we really need to fine tune it by an artist in England named Simon Pritchard, who also did some of the posters that we've had for this project in the past and probably will continue to do. But he did that animation. So again, we're I know this can be done differently these days, but he's actually doing this by doing hand-drawn frames. So for each second of animation, that's 24 frames that he has to draw and sketch. So we're trying to be efficient with the number of animated scenes, so we don't drive him crazy and it doesn't cost him time. But I think it's kind of neat that he's interested in this, and we're going to have him do a lot more of it. So it's again kind of a combination. You'll see live action mixed with animation in this project.
It's really cool just seeing that, kind of that handmade feel to it. So much animation these days, digital, very smooth and everything. Have that element. Would it be safe to say that it lends itself to the supernatural aspect?
I think it's gonna hopefully. Can you guys hear me? I think my
back there, you're putting up such a brave face.
Well, I'm sorry if my transmission is a little shaky here. Can you hear me okay?
We can,
yeah, and the background, little werewolves and stuff, that are
sorry. Well, I wanted to add, Dennis is great to work with on lighting. We have a lot of fun picking out where we're going to light, how we're going to light. This last scene we did, he took kind of a Batman 65 kind of lighting approach. Maybe he can tell you about it since my mic is kind of jumbly.
Yeah, no, it was kind of weird because I didn't know. He was saying he wanted twilight. So I'm thinking, okay, what can I use? And I just started putting some purples up there. And it looked kind of like, psychedelic. It looked like The Trip, from, I don't know if you know Roger Corman's movie, The Trip. Right. So I was like getting that kind of coloring. And then he came by, he goes, oh, I love it. I just got started. I was thinking, but he wanted to keep the saturated colors and, kind of thing. And I kind of agreed with him. It looked nice. I just thought it was a little bit, it wouldn't be too much. But since the world he's created is a little supernatural, it actually works quite well. So anyway, it looked good, I thought. And, so it's a lot of fun doing the lighting. It's good when you can just focus on one thing and you don't have to focus on everything. The acting, your camera settings are right, all those things. If you can just focus on one job, you can really do much better on it. So I appreciate, just having to do that. So it's been good.
That's so cool. Joshua, have you been able to do a lot more stunt work with Mark on this project too?
Not necessarily on this project, although I was whenever we were doing the dust hits and everything. I was behind the rig on that one, so that was a really cool experience.
Cool.
But whenever I just train with Mark, we do a ton of like stunt work, like falls, rolls, stuff like that. I get my fill.
Yeah, that's the funny part. He trains stunts, but the first two things he's doing are character roles.
Yeah.
The preparation of stunt work to play, prepare you for those character roles.
One more time.
Sorry, I think the background at Mike's Genghis Khan is getting pretty loud.
Mute that, Mikey.
I'll mute it.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, Joshua, with the stunt work, do you find that you can take a little bit of that stunt work preparation and actually kind of roll it over in preparation for character work?
Definitely. Oh, definitely. So like when it comes to stunt work, it's not just necessarily like doing movements. It's very much so like acting out, like getting hit or dying.
Yeah.
A huge part about like stunt work and stuff like that. So when it comes to switching that over to acting, it's pretty easy to kind of flip the switch and like putting myself into my character's shoes.
Cool. I'd imagine, preparing yourself. It's like, how does my character move? What are those mannerisms and stuff? Sylvia, are you having to do any type of stunt work in this as well, or is it purely performing as the psychic in this?
Pull a gun on me.
Yeah.
On us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pointed at me.
Far, just a psychic. Yeah, and then I pointed a gun at Mike, but Mark. But I think Mike mentioned that within the time we're gonna do some stuff, so we'll see about that. I hope so. Although we will keep saying we're old and everything, so hopefully nothing happens. I mean, just
No
with this scene that we were filming, just being cold, that Joshua actually, he helped me with the blanket. Like every time that we cut, he will come and,
good.
Yeah, give me the blanket, and then I had all of them that were helping out. Dennis was bringing the heater right next to me, and even then, like I got so sick. But it was cold. Like we were talking, and you could see our breath, out there. But so far it's been just the psychic part of it. So we'll see how it turns, to be. I hope I can get to do some cool stuff like that too.
Nice. Yeah, on a film project like this, you've got to wear so many hats and help each other out. It seems like creatively collaborative, but also logistically as well.
Exactly. I mean, like I told him, just let me know what I need to do, and I'm there. We'll do it again. I told Mike, if we need to shoot everything again, let's do it, because it was so cold. So when I was talking, I mean, you can tell I'm always freezing. So when I was talking like, and then I was like, I can't remember my lines because I'm trying to concentrate on not shaking, because it was so cold. And then my character is wearing this like no top over here, kind of like this one, but it was freezing.
Oh no!
So it was hard.
Yeah, with lighting and everything, Dennis.
Yeah.
The ambiance, like I've got a couple still shots too. I don't know if you had anything to do with these, but there's so much mood, Yeah. There's Mike, looking debonair.
I don't know if I did much on this lighting. There were some other ones we did shoot inside there that I did do some of the lighting, but I don't remember if I did this one or not. I don't remember. So
you did that one.
I did. Yeah, I did. This one I did do. Yeah, we did some of the lighting of that. But again, it's what Mike wants. I just give him what he wants, and that's the thing. But it does take time, to kind of learn this a little bit. It's It is a bit of a learning curve how to do lighting. It's something you don't find too often. You can find tutorials on cameras, you can find tutorials on audio, just about anything out there as far as filmmaking goes. It is really hard to find anything on lighting. I mean, even books, when I was first learning, you can't find much. I think it comes down to experience. I mean, you can learn things about the different type of lighting that's out there. You know, whether it's open face lighting, HMIs, fluorescent lighting or any of that. But it's how to use that light, how to sculpt the light, as they call it. It takes experience, takes a little time, a lot of experimenting. And when I did my first movie, Rage of the Mummy, half the movie is well lit, the other half isn't. It was because I was learning as I was going, I remember. And I got to the point where I was like thinking about my monitor, because I wasn't trusting the monitor.
Okay.
So I started just thinking, they tell me that it should go up this many stops, it should go that much, just to try to balance the lighting right, just for the exposure. And then I just thought, I don't really like the results. I said, I'm just going to go with my intuition of what I see in that monitor and just go that way. And it worked out. It was like 2:00 in the morning. My daughter was helping me. I said, I know it's 2 a.m, but we got to get this, So she helped me out. We moved the lights around, and I liked the results I was getting. So ever since I did that, I started trusting a little bit more of understanding your monitor, understanding what you see with your eyes, and it started working out a lot better for me, And I don't think there's a real formula. I think it just is experience, and you can just you get some results. Of course, you're always influenced by the film and what you like, what you're going. So also the more what is the tone of the the scene. You got to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes the director's too busy trying to figure out other things, and sometimes you kind of have to suggest things to them. Well, would you want it this way, that way? And it's a collaborative. So
and right there, like how Dennis is saying, like when we were shooting, and Mike was so busy trying to hold just the ton of camera that he had with him,
right.
And he would be like, wait a minute, let me try this lighting, and he will come with a LED light and stuff like that, and it will make things different, so this is my first time working with him. Well, with everybody, I never worked with any of these people before, and they're amazing. They're always just trying to make suggestions. They ask Mike, of course, like, hey, what do you think about this? And he's like, yeah, no, things like that. But they're all like pitching, whatever they think is gonna be the best for the scene.
Yeah, we all try to do the best we can because we want to be on a project that we can be proud of. So we try to work as hard as we can, to give suggestions and help out the best we can, and again, it's up to Mike what he wants because it's his vision. But when, again, that's what Sylvia was saying is it was true. I looked at this lighting that we had. At first, it looked a little flat to me. I thought, if I make this pop lit, and all of a sudden, bam, it just happened. It looked really good. Mike, agreed with it. And it just we just work the best you can.
Yeah, every department head, who's is head of something has the way that they would do it, and so they want to set it up. But it's always good when you always have to acquiesce to what the director wants. And so even if you wouldn't do it that way, you give the suggestions and they'll give you yeses or nos, and you don't walk away with any anxiety like, well, I would have done it like that. You can't do that because the woulda, coulda, shoulda on movies just doesn't really work. So you just go, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. Yeah.
No, that's great. With the director, that's that guiding visionary. He's got the vision and the purpose. And Mike, with a film like this, like initially, what was your biggest influence on this, or for this project?
Well, yeah, Daniel, I'd say definitely. I grew up watching the spaghetti westerns, Clint Eastwood, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. That was really probably one of the biggest films ever for me. Just Western or no Western, I just immediately saw that. The first time I really saw it and became influenced by it, I was probably 15. I probably caught it as a kid on a late night movie, but it really rang home when I was about 15 and I watched it. I said, wow, this is really cool. And I just was mesmerized by, I don't know, it just had such a different feeling than the other Westerns, and it put you in a completely different world. And I just fell in love with that whole era, that genre. So I'd say, that's the biggest influence. And, that just got me making movies or wanting to, from that day forward. But for this particular film, definitely spaghetti westerns. And I would say, I don't know how the supernatural element just kind of started creeping into things. And I thought, we need to have a little bit more here. And then it's funny, I see now more and more, even like I'm at Genghis Khan here, there's games that combine westerns and supernatural stuff, and it's becoming more popular now. And I guess we're catching that wave. There's another Western supernatural film that was recently made here in Denver, which is what Mark and Joshua and I all worked on, and where I met Josh. But that combination of elements, I think, just kind of has a neat thing. It hasn't really been done a lot before that I know of in recent years. So
yeah,
that was, or these, I grew up reading J.R.R. Tolkien and, liked fantasy films, and always was a sci-fi guy. I liked heavy metal. So, I mean, all of those elements just kind of were permeating, kicking around in the back of my head. They just kind of spill out on paper once you start writing stuff, I guess. Nice. I would say, though, regarding the lighting, I did want to add, we're filming, a lot of these scenes were lit by candlelight, too. And some of them were barely any extra light was added, if any at all. And when you're filming with film, that can be really challenging. So you got to place those candles where they need to be, because it's a rare thing that's even done anymore. But I for those scenes, I thought we need to have a real dim looking, accurate candlelit room look. But we, for a lot of them, we still added some light. But Dennis understood that and worked with us to get that done. So anyway, that was
first, and then you start adding what you need to bring that level up to where the exposure's right. So you just sort of just a little bit, bring the ambient up a bit, and work that way.
Oh, that's cool. Mike, how much more filming do you have to go? Like, when can we see this?
That's the big question. I know we've been working on this forever. Well, I'll tell you, this, keep in mind, I've always said this is an episode. So this particular episode is going to run about 18 minutes.
Okay.
And it really just introduces the character. It introduces the story of the skull, and it introduces some of the characters that will be prominent in the film. So this episode will be done filming by May. We'll have another scene where we're outdoors in the Wild West. There's one more. Well, with a couple guys on horseback.
Sorry, Mike. Yeah, your audio is getting a little garbled. Last thing I made out.
Okay.
It'll be done. You'll be finished shooting by May.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Can you hear me okay now? I don't know if it's helping.
Yeah, just get really close to your mic.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. I don't.
There it is.
You don't see my face. Can you hear me okay here? You get to see my forehead. I'll turn off my cam. Hopefully you can just hear me now. Is that okay?
Oh, that's better.
Okay, that's I'll just talk close so you don't have to look up my nostrils. Yeah, but we'll be done filming by May. We've got a couple scenes left, and the other thing, though, we're going to be working on the animation, so that's going to take some time. And we do have an artist, a musician in town that's going to be doing some of the work. His name's George Cessna. Anybody that knows of Slim Cessna's Auto Club will know that name. And he agreed to do some of the songs. I first saw him in Trinidad during a spaghetti Western film festival that was put on. And he was featured at the Trinidad Lounge down there. And his music is just amazing. Psychedelic Western, I'd call it. And I approached him. He said, yeah, man, I'll cut some tunes for you. So, again, we're just keeping it local. And it's just kind of a collaborative effort with artists in the community. And that's kind of what makes it fun and gives it a soul and kind of a personality here and helps create that local production value here for Denver, too.
That's awesome. And of course, Mike, I really enjoyed your previous film, Hot Lead, Hard Fury. And Mark, you worked on that as well?
I did. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So I can't wait to see Bullets from Beyond. And then, Dennis, you've got Mark of the Werewolf, that's wrapping up.
We'll have that out in October.
Sweet. And Mark, you're in production on another film as well.
Well, my Aliens and Dragons is finished. It's it has some more post animation, but that's it. The rest of the movie's all done. We'll have to do some ADR probably, but it's looking good. I mean, I'll send you some Dropbox clips. How about that? After this is done, you can see some of the stuff we're doing. It's incredible. I mean, it's going to be a good deal. I mean, well, all this one will be all over the world. It'll be a good movie.
Cool. Yeah. Let me know when you want to come back on the show and we can talk about that project. That sounds.
Yeah, we got to think for something for Sylvia to do, and we'll have to shoot something first.
Right.
But not Josh. I'm going to dress Josh as a cowboy.
Sylvia, what's your next project? What can we look forward from you?
Well, right now, like as far as filming, Bullets from Beyond is what I'm working on, and that's pretty much about it. Just doing my radio show, and seems like that is getting really, really good, like very popular. Like I'm like looking at months and months ahead of people when they ask me, "Can I be on your show?" And I'm like, "Wow!" I was like, do you mind waiting 2 months? I'm like, I've been busy. And even like working on Wednesdays, my show is usually on Sundays. And now I've been doing Wednesdays as well because of that. So that's what is up right now. We'll see what comes next.
Where can people find your radio show?
Okay, it's a stream. So it's, you can, when I do the interviews, I go live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and the webpage for my radio station, which is kushsdenver.com. And so everybody can watch it there. If they want to hear it, just hear it. It's any of the music platforms, like TuneIn and stuff like that. We're like, I don't know how many platforms are there, but there are a lot of them. Mm-hmm. We're all over the world. And it's usually the interviews at 11:30 a.m. Denver time to 1 p.m. And that's tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to have like this amazing guest from New Mexico that he's been, it's a great story that he has, for a lot of people that would like to change their lives and, work towards their dreams. So I hope you guys can watch it. That's Cheche Rodriguez tomorrow.
That's cool. That's all these guys here.
A lot of stuff that I've been seeing, throughout these years. I just turned, my anniversary for my show was just the other day. It was the 5th year with my show that I have a show that I never even thought of having ever, or being on the radio. That was not even my dream, and it happened. So, but I see the people that are successful, they really go for it, and they always fighting. They're not waiting. They're not sitting there just waiting to see what's going to come for them, or trying to get, famous from other people. They're working, they're doing their thing. They're getting ready for when the opportunity comes. They are ready for that opportunity and take the opportunity. A lot of people, the opportunity comes, but you're not ready, then, it's just not going to be there. So that's why I told everybody, you guys have to work hard. We're like, they see you where you are and say, oh, you're lucky you have this show. And these people, is like, and you think by sitting there all like many years, I was going to have this. It's like, no, we're all working towards things. So that's one of the things that I love, to interview people that have the passion, and not just have the passion, but they're doing something towards it. So, I can wait until like we do our little trailer, and then I can interview my own, people, my movie people, that will be great.
That would be really cool to see.
Yes. So that'll be soon. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Nice. That's so cool. Joshua, what do you got next going on? You got more filming on this project, more work with Mark here. What else is happening?
Next is just more training, just preparing for that next opportunity with Mark. Really, like it's
cool.
It's really a new adventure every day with him.
Yeah, you should come and watch our training. You're doing something. But we're doing one in May, starting in May, called Blade Storm. And it's incredible. I mean, I'm going to be traveling the what do they call that? The fan expos that are, that go around the world. I'm going to be going to all of them. They're making me a part of Fan Expo, so I'll be popping around to various ones this year and then more next year. Cool. And teaching people how to do theatrical swordsmanship in a variety of ways. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Guys, thanks so much for coming on the show and talking about Bullets from Beyond and giving us an update. It was great chatting with you. We for everybody that's interested out there, we do have AmericanVintagePictures.com streaming below. That's one area to follow Mike. and all the fun film projects that he's got going on. And we can't wait to have you guys back and see what more cool stuff and more cool art that you guys are producing.
You bet.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank
We
you
look
so much
forward
for
to
the
it.
time.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate all your work, and of course, hang around for a few minutes. But for everybody that tuned in, thanks so much for joining us on this conversation, and of course to our friends at Mutiny Cafe. If you're going to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. And to Hellfire Entertainment, thanks for rebroadcasting us on your social media. Groovy TV. We lost Groovy last year, but we carry on in his stead. And of course, to Alien Donut Films, to Bill and Angela over there, thanks so much for all your help. And my producers, Stephen Santa Cruz and Amanda Armstrong. And guys, during these tough times, remember to take care of each other and love each other. And we will see you next time. Everybody, have a good weekend. Take care.